What is happening? Honestly. Hi, I'm Lorraine. I'm a lawyer, former Division I women's basketball player, and I am here to try and make sense of what is happening in college sports right now. And that is a very tall task, but I'm going to do my best. This period of transition for college sports is kind of like trying to build a new house while living in the old one, while simultaneously trying to sell the new house. And all the while, the different contractors, the NCAA, the conferences, the coaches, the president, the courts, Congress, and the athletes all have conflicting blueprints. So, how did we get here? On Thursday, July 24th, President Trump signed an executive order titled Saving College Sports. This order is his first direct involvement in legislating the college athlete compensation debacle. It really doesn't have any real effect. In fact, it has very minimal actual policy impact. The executive order has core objectives that directly align with the objectives that the NCAA has been trying to get Congress to pass legislation on. I'm going to get into the SCORE Act in a little bit. There are questions about the constitutional authority of using an executive order to regulate private NIL transactions. Despite its limitations, the order broadly aligns with the NCAA's objectives, the Power 5 conference's objectives. It supports Republican legislative efforts, which are best codified in the SCORE Act. The SCORE Act is the first bill related to college sports reform to move through committees in either chamber of Congress. So the primary objective of the SCORE Act is to satisfy key requests from the NCAA and the Power 5 conferences, which means that this is not designed to protect the athletes or for their benefit. Please keep that in mind. Those key requests are the following. First, it would be to prevent state laws from superseding the NCAA, which would effectively eliminate the patchwork state laws that are in effect right now. Second, and a very big one, would be preventing college athletes from being classified as employees. Third, and another big one, would be granting the NCAA and the conferences antitrust protections to enable them to establish and enforce their own rules regarding athlete compensation, the transfer portal, and eligibility. Fourth, it would also fully deputize the College Sports Commission, or CSC, or another entity to enforce the rules established by the House versus NCAA. The bill also proposes to codify several athlete protections that Democratic lawmakers have sought, including requiring schools to provide injury care for at least 2 years post-graduation, yay, catastrophic injury insurance, additional mental health services, and autonomous authority to team physicians and trainers over player health and return to play decisions. It would also legally prohibit schools from revoking scholarships or aid due to injury or performance. Now, the SCORE Act has faced significant public criticism. Attorney generals from several states have sent a letter strongly opposing the bill. It's considered to have a very little chance of garnering enough support to actually pass in the Senate. However, its advancement is seen as significant because it signifies that lawmakers have prioritized addressing college sports issues to the point where a bill has been debated. So what does the executive order and the SCORE Act have in common? Well, President Trump's executive order broadly aligns with the SCORE Act, aside from the preserving of the Olympic sports pipeline that runs through the NCAA and also the safeguarding of women's sports. The bill, as currently written, squeezes small and mid-major schools and makes the big schools richer, more powerful, and less accountable. As with everything that's been going on in college sports, we have no idea what's going to happen next. We cannot say with certainty which way it's going to go, but I will be here to try and explain things in the future. But I hope this is able to bring you a little bit of insight on what's going on. If you enjoyed this, stay tuned. More is coming. Let me know if you learned something in the comments.